I've got a giveaway. I'm gonna give away, but before we spin, I'll throw in some Q&A. Whether you live close or whether you live away, it's time we drew a name for the 100 subscriber giveaway. Hurry back! Just an 80s boy and a 90s teen, going on all things Disney, from mouse to parks and in between. Come share the magic with me. La 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 la. Live your life to a Disney tune. Come and share Jake's Disney Afternoon. Hey Disney Afternoon gang, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning here, this giveaway is for you. And if you're new, we're going to do other giveaways in the future, but we do all kinds of content that's Disney related, parks and trips and hauls and unboxings and shopping and vintage and trivia. So click that subscribe button, join the gang, and be a part of all of the Disney adventures we have here. So I am so excited for my very first giveaway on my channel. I cannot thank you enough for getting me to 100 subscribers. Although, hint, we're almost at 200 subscribers, so I'm looking down the barrel of another giveaway at some point in the future. But I couldn't have done any of this without you, so I am grateful for your support. I've got my little bucket o' names here, which I wrote these out old school on cards because, you know, that's how we roll. I'm going to dump them into my hat and pull them out of the Mickey hat at the end of the video. But a couple of days ago, I asked some of you for some Q&A. I thought you could get to know me a little bit better, other than some Disney content or maybe some things about Disney that that we haven't answered. So let's get started. Karen asks, my question is, what's your favorite part of the Disney parks? The rides, shows, parades, or maybe the dining? Well, there's a loaded question. What don't I love about the Disney parks? I think what oddly stands out to me is the cleanliness and the organization. I know that seems like a weird thing, but as someone who is like obsessed with systems and the best practices for organizing things, I think that's the teacher in me. I am just impressed when large groups and crowds are controlled and handled in a safe way, in an organized and timely way, and in an entertaining way also. It is not perfect, obviously, waiting in some of those lines, but I think the Disney parks do a lot of good and have really perfected some processes. But I think the more exciting answer than that is I just like the ambiance of the whole thing. I like the immersion aspect of it. I like being on Main Street USA. I like being in Fantasyland or Adventureland. I like just feeling a part of that adventure and that escape from the real world. I think that's what draws me in. Sarah asks, super curious as to what you think has remained the same throughout the years at the Disney parks and what has changed the most. And follow-up question to that, do you think the change has been for the better, or are there nostalgic parts that you really miss? Okay, so my first trip to the Disney parks in stateside was 2007. I'd actually been to Disneyland Paris in 2003. I feel like that's a different conversation because they're not really comparable. But in the late 2010s, everything still was very much the same or similar to what I think it had been for some time. So it was pre-Star Wars, and particularly for a lot of the changes that happened to Hollywood studios. So it was pre-Star Wars and pre-Toy Story and pre-Pandora into all of that. So I don't know, it has changed a lot, let's just say, in the 15 years that I've been roughly going to Disney. So what has remained the same? I think the magic and the nostalgia, no matter what changes, no matter what rides come and go, no matter what attractions or properties are being added to the parks, there's always that sense of wonder and magic that is just kind of constantly there. There's a lot of thought and care, even if it's not maybe your favorite thing. I think the thought that goes into making the experience awesome still remains. Yes, of course, I'm nostalgic for things of the past. I think particularly Hollywood studios, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I don't begrudge Star Wars being an important part, but I love the old feeling, the old backlot tours, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids park, some of the stuff that was in the back corner where now Star Wars is that has been basically removed. I miss the animation buildings being there and some of that because I love a lot of that stuff. So I do miss a lot of that. The problem with parks that are based on nostalgia is that when you take a ride or an attraction away, even if it needs to be updated, even if it's way outdated, you take away that nostalgia. Do you know what I mean? And so I think there's some inherent conflict in that for being nostalgic, but then also removing the nostalgia. Good question. I'm probably have more to say about that at some point, but let's keep this video rolling. Julie asks, what's your favorite Disney song to sing? Favorite park? Favorite ride? Disney song to sing is a tough one. I play through my Disney books a lot and just sing for fun. I just enjoy it. I would say maybe the title song to Beauty and the Beast has my favorite lyric, which is bittersweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong. 3 lines that are incredibly profound and say a lot about who we are as people. So that one always just resonates with me emotionally, but I don't know if there's one that I sing all the time. My favorite park is probably Magic Kingdom. I think that's probably a lot of default answers for people. I think it used to be Hollywood Studios before it changed, but on my last trip, I really got to love Epcot a lot more, and that one's kind of creeping up in the ranks for me. And then my favorite ride, I love It's a Small World. I know, controversial topic, but I love that sense of like this greater community boiled down to like a few key principles that I really do think we all agree on and believe in. I don't know. It brings me a lot of nostalgia. I do love the Jungle Cruise also, and I love Peter Pan's Flight. Yeah, I think those are probably it. This hat is like 8,000 degrees. When I was in Epcot, there was a woman wearing this hat after I had bought it, so I knew how heavy and sort of like flannelly fluffy it was, and I was like, no. I don't know what you're thinking, but no. Clipper and Kitten asked, here's our question. What's your cat's name, and is it your only pet? Be right back. All right, so if you don't know, this is Mr. Valentino Blue. That is his official name, but I think if you are pet people, you probably know that that's rarely the name you call him. I don't know. At least I have called you. How many names have I called you now? 100,000 names. Currently, his name is Little Man Fry. Don't know where it comes from. Don't know what started it, but that's what we call you, right? Little Man Fry? Yeah? Oh, thank you. That's nice. Why are you going to bite me? I love you. It is the only pet that we have. It's tough in New York City to have pets. I wanted a dog at some point, but dogs are so much maintenance. And so this little guy is all the pet we need, right? Why gonna bite me for? He loves to wrestle. Boy, does he love to wrestle. Mwah, you're a good baby. Okay, you can go now. Thank you. Mary Beth asks, curious, what do you teach? I am a mostly middle school music and theater teacher. I have taught high school, and I do currently teach a little bit of high school currently, and even a little bit of elementary school. But my main focus is in middle school. Love middle school. Tough time of life, but it's a lot of fun. And of course, music is my background, and theater is one of my very first loves. And then Mary Beth went on to ask, Disney question, has COVID caused you to become a ridiculous collector? Our pin collection is currently out of control in new emos. It's just getting bad. Well, I think we can all sympathize with that. COVID has given us time to focus on other things and maybe get a little bit bored in the process. However, I have always been, there is like cat fur all over me now. I have always been a collector of things. You can ask my family. I've had a million different collections and somewhat obsessively. And so they kind of come and go. But yeah, probably, it's gotten worse because I've had time to stalk eBay and to go around and to just beef up my collection, and certainly starting this channel has not helped my pocketbook at this time. So yeah, definitely I've seen an uptick in that. Jamie from Jamie's Disney Kingdom asked me, my question is hands down, what is your least favorite thing about Disney? Always someone in the group got to ask that question. So Jamie, I don't know if you mean like at the parks or just as Disney as a corporation or an entertainment company. So I'll answer very quickly both. I think the least favorite thing at the parks is the crowds. I know they managed them well, but you know, waiting a few hours for a ride that is 6.5 minutes or whatever they are is really ridiculous. I think I said this in one of my videos when I just came back, when we had about 40% capacity at the parks. I would pay more to have fewer people there. It just made the experience that much more enjoyable. The thing I dislike about cat hair again everywhere as a corporation, you know, the move away from traditional animation, I think, is a mistake. And I'm not underestimating the artistic ability that goes into computer graphics, but I think that there is something lost in the human element of the hand-drawn pencil lines, the slightly imperfect quality. It's interesting to me that animation has worked so hard to become so lifelike, and live action films have worked so hard to become almost animated, where live action films aren't even being filmed really in live sets. It's just green everywhere and everything else is put on there. So I would like to see Disney return to hand-drawn animation. I don't know. That's just the artist in me. Lauren from Castles, Capes, and Clones asked, if you are on a drowning ship and only able to save one DVD of a Disney afternoon series, what would it be and why? Y'all got to stop with these like tough questions. I can't choose. All right. So, you know, I love the Wuzzles, which I don't know. Are we technically counting that part of the Disney afternoon? We often, in my book, use that term to incorporate the 80s into the 90s animation, whether it officially appeared on the Disney afternoon block, which ran from 3 to 5 in the afternoons, or if it was just like the Little Mermaid series, Aladdin series, my old pals, the Wuzzles. So you know how much these have an important place in my heart. But I guess if I really had to choose the Disney afternoon proper and maybe something I enjoy watching more, would be Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. Love this show. It's always been one of my favorites. So I guess this would be the season that would come with me on the island. I'm hoping I'm allowed to take a DVD player and a TV there. Yeah. Okay. Tony asks, how many Loungefly backpacks do you own and which is your favorite? So Loungefly is a new collection for me. I love them. Of course, you know, you get one and it's like, So currently I have 5. One I haven't reviewed. You'll have to wait for that one to come up. But luckily I don't know if it's not my favorite. I would have to say that my DuckTales bag here is probably my favorite. I had been eyeing this bag. Of course, I love DuckTales. Speaking of Disney afternoon. And this bag is just super fabulous. It gives me all the right throwback feels and definitely hands down my favorite. Looking to collect more, but I'm a little selective about the ones that I do collect, just because there are many that I don't really care for and don't want. And then finally, Ajana Claire from Zoel's World asks, how did you come up with your theme song? So when I started this channel, one of the first things I knew is I wanted to have a theme song. Not only is it sort of the thing that I do as a musician, but theme songs are where it's at. Post 21st century television is doing it wrong without a good theme song. The 80s and the 90s were rife with them, and I knew I had to have one. So the opening of the theme song is very reminiscent of the opening of the Disney afternoon theme song with the bop-ba-beep-bop-beep-bop-ba-dooba-da-ba-dee. It's a little different. No copyright was infringed upon, but I wanted it to give you that sense of immediate recollection to that moment. And also it kind of has like a late 80s, 90s, early 90s like shuffle pop beat, which again harkens to most of those Disney afternoon theme songs and frankly, most of the TV theme songs of that day. I wrote it in one afternoon. I've kind of been thinking about it and I just said, you know what, sit down and do it. So in about 3 hours, I wrote it and produced it, and that's the theme song you hear on the show today. I do have plans to make it into get it, maybe professionally recorded or have some singer friends or a larger chorus on there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for now. And I don't know, sucker for a good theme song. Who likes the theme song? If you do, leave me in the comments below your favorite one. I have a whole playlist of TV theme songs that I often listen to on the way to work, and that's just how we roll at 7 o'clock in the morning some days. Thank you for your questions. I am looking forward to also getting to know some of you better as we continue this journey past 100 subscribers and onwards, but it is now time to do the drawing. So, hat off. How's the hair? Not terrible. All right, I can be seen like this. Okay, so I did, like I said, I did write all of these out on cards. There's a zillion of them in this bucket. So I am dumping them in. Bucket is empty. So we've got them in our little Mickey hat. I am gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Hand's gonna go in. Just Jessie is the winner of our giveaway. There it is. If you do not follow her or subscribe to her on YouTube, I will link her somewhere around here. Go find her. She does a lot of movie reviews and all kinds of collections, pins and Funkos and things like that. Just Jessie, contact me on Instagram and I will get your giveaway sent out to you in the mail. We are, I think, like 10 or 12 away now from 200. So spread the word. Let's get some more people signed up to this channel. Let's do another giveaway. I've got a huge Jim Shore collection coming up on Saturday. You will not want to miss that. And then I've got some exciting swaps that I can't even tell you about at the moment, but they are going to be, not only are they with some awesome people, but they are like themes and topics that I'm like totally into. One may or may not be vintage. Hint, it definitely is. More on that soon. Thank you all for entering this giveaway, and I look forward to more Disney afternoons and other Disney adventures together. Take care.
Hope to see you back real soon, sharing in Jake's Disney afternoon.